I'm Naima, and I'm interviewing my friend. I'm going to talk to my friend Jetti / Hash Brown.
Hola.
Hey, this is him right here, obviously, because he's the only other person right here. Because nobody else is in the room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey man. Okay, anyway, so I'm just going to talk to you about some stuff because, like, you're cool and your music is, like, freaking sweet. And, like, I can give this guy a sample and he freaking, like, transforms it and stuff. Okay, so, like, when did you start, like, period? When did you start doing, like, music, period, and, like, everything?
I didn't really start writing until probably my senior year of high school, 2000. Freshman year. Freshman year was my first experience actually recording in the studio, being around people in the studio. Started a group with John Dew and Hip-Phonics, made the council, like 2000, 2001. That was my first experience rapping. As far as producing, that came later on. That was like 2004.
Okay, so my next question, like, I don't want to be like that cliche person to be like, hey, so who's the first hip-hop album you ever bought? Like, I'm not going to ask you that question because I'm sure you ask it all the time. But, like, what, who were you first exposed to hip-hop-wise that made you be like, man, this stuff is good, dude. This is good stuff.
Musically, it was probably Dr. Dre and Chronic. I remember nothing but a G thing. It was just like, this sounds really better than anything else I've ever heard. As far as like my favorite group that I was into was probably Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like at first, I got into. I always been into like Outkast, UGK.
I want to ask you, like, you know, they have the death of autotune thing or whatever. Explain the death of Candy Paint.
Death of Candy Paint.
Explain that.
Wow. It's like, I mean, I'm gonna try to answer this question, but it's Candy Paint is it's just a metaphor. Just like you can't kill it, but I think it represents something that has been a constant use in rap music. And that's cool. You know, it's cool. If you got candy paint on your car, you deserve to talk about it. But if you listen to the song, it's more about just showing progression and use of music, showing there's something else other than the typical stuff that people talk about. And people rap about candy paint since I can remember. So to me, I had enough of that kind of shit. Starts down and swinging. How much swinging can you do?
You have Jetti mastering and that's Hash Brown. So, like, can you explain to me, like, can you explain those two? Why do you have two names and why those names?
Hash Brown is the rapper, is the MC. Jetti Master is the producer. Dustin actually gave me, it was a nickname in high school. I love breakfast food. If you go to Denny's, you need to order hash browns with your order. I have a strong affinity for Star Wars, anything Star Wars. So.
Yeah. And then when they come together, it's epic, guys.
Jetti Master.
Yeah, the little.
Like, we're not playing, man. You don't even know what I got.
Yeah. Okay, so sounds from the back seat, which is like stupid banging, like retarded banging.
It's retarded.
It's nuts. It's good stuff. Stupid banging. Can we reflect on stupid banging for us? I talk about the baptism all the time to people. Like, all the time. Like, I talk about that song all the time. It's like my favorite, and I wish it was longer. And that's the only bone I have to pick with you about that. I'm a little perturbed. I wish it was
a couple more bars.
I needed a little bit,
Baptism is it's kind of an ode to those conceptual songs, like Nas's Rewind, Stillmatic, and it's short.
Like, what was your favorite one to do? What was your favorite
song?
Track on the album? Dumb question. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be
I'm sorry, America.
It's gonna be a tie between Love Supreme and Sounds from the Backseat, the title track. And I probably would lean towards the title track, just because it's so personal.
producers have that sound, like you can tell that it's them. Like if you hear an instrumental, you just know that it's them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you can hear your instrumental and you know that it's you. What is it like that you, and I'm not talking about like the tags and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just talking about like the sound. Like how do you know like, what is it that you do like that? Put your mark on something.
I mean, I think that's over time. The more music that comes out, or the more projects that I can get on, then people will start to recognize, okay, that's a Jedi Master beat, or that's my signature sound. But I think the way I EQ my records, or it's my signature. Like I really try to, I make the highs high, I make the lows low, and the mids. Same thing with the drums. Aggressive drums with a very melodic sample, I would say that's probably my signature. It's a contrast.
I
so
agree.
It's like, yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's beautiful and it's rugged.
Yeah. So like, okay, so how did the council start?
We were all freshmen at UT in Arlington, up in Dallas. And it was just a bunch of, homeboys that hung out and go party and, do music occasionally here and then. When it became something that like we really wanted to, pursue, it was 4 members. It was me, John Dew, Hipphonics, and a cat called, he goes by Correct. When he was with us, Seymour Doe. The name of the council actually came from me being such a Star Wars head. We used to watch Star Wars in my dorm room all the time. So the Jedi Council, we dropped the Jedi alphabet because we didn't want to get pigeonholed into that scene as geeks or something like that. So
yeah.
that's how the council started.
Okay, and them.
Them.
How did them get started?
Them got started late last year. I met Ollie Floss a couple years ago. We've been good friends since. He had a rap collective called West End Boys Web, World Wide Web. And him, Kid the Great, Bad Tay, May Deuce, JRC, and a rap group together. I've been friends with Dust Prestige since high school, or since like before that.
Yeah.
So it was just we're all friends and we're all doing the same things, and we all have the same goals in mind when it comes to the music. So it just clicked one day. I know me and Dustin were texting each other like, we should call this something. From there, it was just like, oh yeah, us versus them. There's a lot of different marketing things you can do with the name.
Yeah.
And it's just.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to say. You use that out of context. So I'm like, no. It's abbreviated. But I think that's interesting how like you guys linked up and like, you know how people like say that they're gonna do stuff like that and then they don't.
It's hard. I mean, being in a group. Being on your own is hard unless you have people around you. Being in a group is hard because you have different opinions, you have different situations.